Hey, my name is Andy, and today I'm excited to share with you my new indie game project.
For years, I've been dreaming of creating my own action-adventure game. 6 years ago, I opened a 3D engine for the first time, and today, after many discarded projects and prototypes, but also after a fully fledged game published on Steam, I'm proud to announce that I'm now working on my dream game. There are so many fantastic action-adventure games, each with their own mechanics and features that make them fun. So why not create a game that combines my own ideas with inspiration from my favorite features in other games? As a solo developer, this is obviously an ambitious project, so I have to carefully consider the scope and prioritize tasks. I have set 4 main pillars for this project in decreasing order of importance: controls, gameplay, art style and level design, and story. The controls of the game will be the most important point for me. It may sound strange, but it just has to feel good to defeat an enemy or slide down a hill. The controls must be smooth and feel responsive in every situation. Also, the controls and various UIs need to be intuitive. The gameplay comes in a close second for me. When it comes to gameplay, I include various systems such as the quest or combat system, as well as things like world exploration, progression, or using special movement mechanics. The player must not feel like they're wasting their time. The system should not feel redundant and must not be too complex. It's a fine line to implement these things correctly. Next, we have the art style and level design for the game. My focus is on a consistent and stylized art style for the game. The shading will be smooth and toon-like, but not look low-poly. The level design should be diverse and avoid unnecessary backtracking, especially in indoor areas. Finally, there's the story of the game. I want to create something unique. The main story won't be complex, but it will have a very personal touch. However, there will be a lot of optional hidden story elements to discover. For things I haven't mentioned, I will use existing solutions, outsource work, or follow the minimum principle. So, after all of that is cleared up, what is my new game about? It's an open-world action-adventure game, but the world itself will not be gigantic. I want to give the player the freedom to decide how and in what order they want to play and progress the game, similar to Breath of the Wild. The combat system will primarily take place in close combat and will use various elements of established combat systems, such as lock-on, time-based dodge and parry, attack combos, different attack patterns with different weapons, etc. The combat system will be more dynamic and fast-paced. The animations will be short and in some cases interruptible. I really like how in Souls games you get a sense of how powerful an attack is just through the length of the animation and the lack of ability to interrupt it. However, I want to focus on a more arcade and dynamic version of combat. There will be typical POIs in the open world, but also elements like underwater areas, underground areas, and cave systems. Additionally, I want to create larger dungeons similar to classic dungeons in past Zelda games, filled with puzzles, enemies, items, mini-bosses and main bosses. There will be items that can be used as weapons or to solve puzzles. For example, there will be a bow, but also bombs. These are classic items that you know from various games. To make it a bit more exciting, I want to offer the possibility to combine and upgrade items. For example, you could imagine bomb arrows when combining arrows and bombs. And if you're not satisfied with a regular explosion, you can upgrade your bomb to a cluster bomb that explodes into many smaller explosions over a larger area for a certain period. I've already given a lot of thought to the item system, but so far I have only implemented the first prototype for the bow and arrow. I will go into more detail about the various items in future devlogs. Right now, I'm working on creating a stable and flexible character controller. The character logic is based on a state machine, which makes things easier. In the footage, you will still see many placeholders and prototype assets, but that will change over time. I've also been working on the main character of the game for some time now, and I think I can finally import it into the game engine soon. I don't want to give away too much about the story yet, but I already have a comprehensive concept. At the beginning of the game, you'll start on the Isle of the Ancients, a mysterious island that serves as a tutorial. Here you'll learn all the basics and find the core items that you'll need throughout the game. The actual game takes place high in the clouds on a floating island. I know. Announcing a game set in the skies featuring floating islands just a few days before the release of Tears of the Kingdom might not have been the best timing. But you have to believe me, this idea has been on my mind for some years now. I've also put a lot of thought into the movement mechanics. Initially, I wanted to place towers all over the world for fast travel and a glider mechanic, but since Breath of the Wild, that's been done in so many games. I have a unique movement mechanic planned that I want to show at a later time. Finally, let's go over some quick Q&A to answer a few questions you may have. Which game engine are you using? I'm using Unity LTS and the Universal Render Pipeline. When will the game be finished? Classic question. This is a passion project and also my dream game. I have no time or financial pressure. I don't expect a release in the next 2 years. What is the name of the game? I will introduce the name of the game and the corresponding Steam page in the first devlog. How often will you be posting devlogs? Unlike my old project, I only want to release devlogs when I have completed something big and feel good about showing it. So there may be months between devlogs. On which systems will the game be released? I can't say for sure at the moment. I'm primarily developing the game for PC, but I'll make sure to keep console compatibility in mind during development. I would like to contact you regarding your new project. The best way to do so is on Twitter or Discord. That's it for the introduction devlog. Nice to see you made it to the end of the video. I hope my new project has sparked your interest. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe to my channel and leave a like and a comment on the video. I appreciate any kind of support. Alright, take care and see you next time.